Hi, welcome to Talking and Reading from Japan. I'm your host, Hidemi Woods. Here, I'll read an episode from the books I wrote and talk about it or anything I feel like talking to you. I hope you enjoy with me. Today, I'll read an episode from one of my memoirs I wrote, which title is The Girl in Kyoto. The Girl in Kyoto means me. I'm from Kyoto in Japan, and this is one of my experiences from my childhood. And today's episode is called My 18th. This is about the Japanese traditional card game my family used to play at home. My 18th. The classic card game is usually played during New Year's in Japan. There used to be a family gathering in New Year's in my house every year. On one New Year gathering after I won the tournament of the card game at school, I suggested that we play it because I had become extremely good at it. I played with my relatives and my grandfather. I won dominantly by getting most of the cards. Then, my grandfather began to be angry with me, saying I was unfair. In 100 poems the cards hold, a player often has his or her favorite poem. It's considered that person's specialty, called my 18th in Japan. No player other than that person can take the card on which his or her favorite poem is written, even if the card is right in front of you. Other players concede it by letting the person pick the card on purpose. They say it's an unspoken rule of the game. I ignored it and just kept taking as many cards as I could, whether it was somebody's 18th or not, because to me, the game was a matter of memory and speed. With my grandfather, my relatives also began to complain. Although the game was one of very few things I was good at, nobody had played it with me ever since. That was today's episode. This is about the Japanese traditional card game. It's called 100人一首 in Japanese. I think I have talked about it here before, but it's an ensemble of 100 old poems by 100 different poets. It's pretty old poems. Was comprised about during the 13th century or so. And those poems had become a card game in Japan. And 100 poems are written on each card. Only those poems are a long version of haiku. And the cards are 200 cards in total, because there are two different kinds of cards in one set. One kind, a part of 100 cards is for reading, and the other part is for taking. I mean picking. So the those 100 cards for picking are have only the latter half of the poem. The latter half of poems are written on each card, and those are arrayed in front of you, in front of players. And the reader reads another part of another set of 100 cards, on which only the first part of the poem is written on each card. So, to pick a card, a corresponding card, fast and correctly, you need to remember the whole poem. So, the minute a reader reads the first section of the poem, you recall the latter half in your brain and search for it among the cards that are scattered in front of you and pick the corresponding one. So the memory and speed is the key to win this game. And for some reason, I was really good at it. And of course, I remembered all those 100 poems completely. So only a word of the first section of the poem was necessary for me to pick the latter half, because the first word tells me the latter half instantly in my brain. So I just needed to search for it and picked it. And there is I don't know everybody other people in Japan are doing that or not, but at least my family or my relatives who lived quite in a rural area in Japan had a specific unspoken rule for the game, which it's a kind of gentleman's agreement that someone's favorite should be considered, and even if you can be the place to pick it, you shouldn't pick it, because you should let other competitor to take it. Let other competitor take it, because it's her of his favorite, and it's called one's 18th. It's called ohako in Japanese. I forgot why it's called 18th, but there was a reason for being called 18th. Because anyway, it's a gentleman's agreement not to take someone's 18th, but I knew that agreement vaguely when it's played among the close relatives or family members, but officially it's not an official rule for the game. So officially they don't players don't apply that rule. And in the tournament that was held at my school, that rule didn't apply either. So I just players was able to pick as many as they could. And although I knew that very local, my family's specific rule not to take someone's 18th, I ignored it because once I absorb in something, I was absorbed in something, or I got into it. I get into it. I tend to forget those considerate rules or anything. I just tend to stick to what I am doing. So I forget I forget about anything other than my competing. So when I played with my relatives and my grandfather for the first time, I ignored that rule, and I just picked and showed how good I was. And people started complaining to me of ignoring their 18th. And when I was complained, I noticed, I realized what I had done. But to me, it was more important to win the game, because I was, at that time, I got into that game so deeply, and I just couldn't see anything around me, let alone those 18ths or anything. But my grandfather, when I picked one card, I had never played that game with my grandfather until then. And so when I played with them, and I picked a certain card as usual, he suddenly exclaimed that it's my 18th. What are you doing? And it was so funny, because I just played the game ordinarily. It's the usual way, the right way. It's the right way to be played. So I just doing the game, and he suddenly interrupted me, and the reason of his interruption was that card was his 18th. And but I didn't concede it. I didn't concede it to him. I didn't hand it to him. I said I picked it before he picked the one. And in my theory, if he loved that poem so much enough to make it his 18th, he should have picked much faster. He should have picked instantly. Why he was lost to me for that special card. So I just ignored completely his 18th and his unspoken rule that he had believed all his life for that game. My grandfather had such an interesting character. He was he acted like a dictator of my family, but also he many times he looked like a small child to me, because he to show his power or to his position, to show his position clearly to others, he acted in a funny way. His action got so childish and weird and strange and really funny. So I had too many uncomfortable and annoying and disturbing memories with him when I lived with him. But looking back, they were such funny memories of my childhood. All right, that's all for today. Thanks for listening. I'm Hidemi Woods. I hope you come back soon here and join me my reading of the episodes or of my childhood experiences. And if you are interested, you can visit my website, hidemiwoods.com, HIDEMI woods.com, where all the links are available to all books I wrote, all songs I wrote, and even merchandise I designed, and SNS and podcasts and blogs. So if you're interested in other materials of mine, please feel free to visit there. Well, thanks again. Until next time, take care and be well.